Well, since we still don't have a chair, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 5:31. Welcome, Caitlin. We're so glad to have you. I'm glad you saw my email. Did you want to take a moment to introduce yourself and, just let everybody know why you wanted to serve?
Absolutely. Hi there. My name is Caitlin Dickinson. I go by Katie, and I apologize in advance. I'm a little under the weather today, so I sound a little froggy. But yeah, I was just notified of my appointment late last week, so I'm very excited. I really, as I wrote in my application, I'm just really passionate about making sure that the Wild Spaces Public Pieces funding really benefits our community in the most optimal ways possible, as my family has benefited a ton. In fact, today I took my son to Oakview Park and we hung out there. So I'm just very passionate about making sure that this is a resource that endures in our community.
Wonderful. Well, we're so glad to have you. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. So would anybody like to make a motion?
So moved.
Anybody like a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none. Approval of the minutes. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the April 19th, 2021, February 21st, 2022 minutes?
Move to approve those minutes.
I second it.
I'm sorry, who was that that seconded it?
Tom Hewlett.
Okay. So all those in favor? Aye.
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 So with that, we are now to the election of the chair. So would anybody like to volunteer to be the chair? Does anybody want to nominate somebody to be the chair?
I would like to be the chair, if that is the will of the rest of the board.
Would somebody like to make a motion to nominate David Ruiz as our chair?
I make a motion that we make him chair.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'm going to turn it over to you. We're at the election of the vice chair.
Yes, ma'am. Item number 5. Is there anybody who would like to be vice chair or nominate someone to be vice chair?
Promise it's not super hard. I try and help you as much as I can.
Yeah. What would the duties be for vice chair?
So essentially, if Mr. Ruiz is out, sick, vacation, whatever, then you run the meetings, and basically what I've been doing. At this point.
I'll nominate myself, Tom Hewlett.
Is there a second?
Oh, well, second. Is it okay for nominate yourself, or should somebody else nominate them? Like make the
It's
motion.
okay. No, yeah, you can nominate. Yeah, I can't nominate myself, can I?
I move to nominate Tom as the vice chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alrighty, Mr. Hewlett, you're vice chair, and that brings to item number 6, which is the approval of the 2021 annual work plan and accomplishments.
So you may recall at last month's meeting, we discussed it. Nobody had any changes, corrections, additions. So really the only thing at this point we need is a motion.
Is there a motion to approve the work plan and accomplishments?
Before we do that, I went through all the information you gave me about the volleyball courts in Newberry, and I appreciate that. I still have to, I'll just let it go, but I thought $9,000 for beach sand was an amazing price. But I don't know that much about beach sand and volleyball courts. But I'll just leave it at that. I move that we approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All righty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and that was for our annual work plan and accomplishments. Next is item 7, which is the review of the municipal county expenditures for fiscal year 2021-2022.
So at last month's meeting, somebody had requested clarification on the acronyms as well as a list of the properties purchased for the Alachua County report. So staff did provide that information, which I shared with you. And so nothing else has changed to the report other than those two clarifying items. And so if you would like, you don't have any additional thoughts or concerns, then if you would make a motion to approve the Alachua County report as presented.
Is there a motion to that effect?
I motion we approve that.
Is there a
Review the
second?
annual-
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, that takes care of Alachua County. The next is the city of Alachua.
And again, there were no expenditures for this reporting period. For the duration of the ballot initiative, Alachua will not have any expenditures because they bonded money to do improvements at Legacy Park. So their money was spent on the front end. So at this point, any money they get in from the sales tax proceeds, it repays the debt for Legacy. So just heads up, you're gonna see that for the balance of it.
So since they didn't have any expenditures, do we need a motion to approve them or just acknowledge that what you just stated?
So they didn't even provide a report. Basically, they
Okay.
responded to my, no expenditures.
Okay,
The city of Park, or Wilson Robinson Park, so there's splash pad and play equipment. At last month's meeting, nobody had any questions on this one.
okay. And is there a motion to approve the city of Archer?
I move to approve.
Is there a
I'll second.
second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, next would be the city of Gainesville.
So this one, the city of Gainesville had requested a 1-month extension, and so whenever we received it, I forwarded it to you for review. This was not discussed at last month's meeting. So the report is here on the screen, and if there's anything in particular that you would like me to flip to, because you may have questions, Betsy is physically present here in the conference room, so she can best answer any questions.
Okay, any questions on the city of Gainesville, either for Gina or for the individual that's present?
If I flip too fast, let me know, I can go back.
Or if no questions, is there a motion?
I motion we accept it, the city of Gainesville's report.
I'll second.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
we have a motion on the floor with a second.
Okay, I apologize. It went out just then. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All righty.
With the city of Hawthorne, we had a question about why there were two final bills for the restroom. And staff got back with us and one was a brand new restroom and the other was a renovation to an existing restroom.
Okay, any questions or anything with the City of Hawthorne? Is there a motion?
I'll move to accept.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We have a motion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I move to accept. Sorry, I thought.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Yeah, I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor for the City of Hawthorne?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next would be the City of High Springs.
There were no questions from last month's meeting on High Springs.
Okay, entertain your desire for the City of High Springs.
Do we have to make a motion for High Springs?
Yes, please.
Oh, well, I make a motion that we accept expenditures for our City of High Springs.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and that brings us to the City of La Crosse.
So there was a question on whether or not this was just a walking trail or if it was also a bike trail. So staff responded that it was only a walking trail.
What are we talking about? I missed that.
The town of La Crosse.
Oh,
So there are
okay.
49.
Okay. What is contract administration?
So I believe they must have hired an outside company to help, like professional services, because they don't have the capability in-house to like design the trail.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like a good price. I move that we accept expenditures for the town of La Crosse.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any or all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, and that brings us to Micanopy.
So there were no questions from the meeting about the town of Micanopy.
Yeah. Well, then I move that we accept expenditures for the town of Micanopy.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then that is, it still says Newberry on the,
This is the next one. We just did.
Oh,
City of
okay,
Newberry.
I'm sorry. The City of Newberry is next. Any questions or any motion for the City of Newberry?
This is the one where we have the question about the volleyball courts, and so they're clarified that 2 volleyball courts were constructed, and then they also provided the cost breakdown for the construction of the court.
Yeah, that satisfied my questions. Thank you. I move we accept the expenditures for the City of Newberry.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, and next would be the City of Waldo.
They had no expenditures. for
Okay.
this reporting.
Is that gonna be like the other one for the length of the,
No,
Just for
they're
this?
working on projects, but they have some ownership issues, so they're trying to do a trail down to the Lake Alto. And they just have some ownership issues, so they're trying to work that out.
okay. Next would be public comment, either anyone in person at the meeting or online. Anyone at the meeting?
I mean, I'm available to answer questions, but I don't have any public comment per se.
I just have a question I'd like to ask, and perhaps overheard this, but didn't focus on it. Every one of the cities has an open to the public ABC Park playground equipment, 30,000. Why is that in gray? And what does that mean?
Sure, so whenever I sent out the template,
Mhm.
that was my example, so they knew what
Ah,
to.
so every town did not have a $30,000.
Correct,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
It was just like, this is the kind of information we're looking for, so
I
that
see.
it's
Okay.
filled out correctly.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't even know what an ABC Park is, but I'm glad they all got them. But okay.
Anyone else for public comment or?
I do have another business item, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
So, earlier this month, I asked the Board of County Commissioners if the November ballot initiative is passed, if they wanted to amend the duties of this group to take on housing and infrastructure expenditure review. And they graciously accepted. You guys didn't have any concern over it, and I shared that with them. So if it does pass in November, then we will amend your resolution to include review of those expenditures too.
I'm sorry, I didn't, is this about the housing?
Correct. So, this November, we're
Yeah.
asking to do,
Sorry, we got to pass the cell phone closer. So this November, we're asking for a ballot initiative. It's 1% sales tax. Half would be for wild spaces, just as, you know, this group has historically reviewed. An additional half-cent would be for housing and infrastructure. So the question to the board was whether or not we should expand the duties of this board to also review the housing and infrastructure expenditures, or if we should have a totally different group. But the board thought that you guys are doing such a great job that, yes, we could expand your duties and have you review those expenditures as well.
Very good. In November.
yes. So I think it's November 8th, so we will know November 9th whether or not it passes.
Okay, anyone have anything else before we entertain a motion to adjourn? And I just want to apologize that I'm not there in person, but I'm actually on vacation back home, but I will be returning this coming Sunday. Looking forward to seeing your lovely faces at our next meeting or when we have our total in-person meeting. But other than that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn if it is your pleasure.
Well, and I guess one quick thing, you guys are done for the year.
Okay,
So
yeah,
your
that's right.
next meeting is next February. So
Correct.
just wanted to let you know that you've reviewed last fiscal year's expenditures, and so I'll schedule us for the third
Upcoming.
Monday, February of 2023.
Okay. Is there a
Whether
motion?
That's correct, whether the November ballot initiative passes, because regardless, we would still have these wild spaces expenditures to review.
Right. Well,
I
move that-
motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? Okay,
second
all in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
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 All right, well, thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.